talk. We want to hear from Lester and Leslie. Let's talk. We're on a journey, come along with me. Let's talk. We're bringing a new perspective. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk with Lester and Leslie.
Hey, Leslie.
Hey, Jay.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty great, except for my voice just cracked for But I'm doing good. How are you?
I am doing exceptionally well. I just celebrated my 40th yesterday.
Yes.
I am 40 years old in a day, and it feels just like I was 39 years old in 364 days. It doesn't seem like a huge change, but we're here now.
Oh, yeah. I'm so glad you made it.
Me too. Me too.
It's amazing.
Yep. So
Welcome.
welcome to the club.
Welcome to the Big Fours.
Take me back. No, let's
Those
stop.
Air Force Ones. I think I'll say that for my next birthday.
I was at a dinner yesterday with my family, and my uncle was like, because he and I are like 10 years apart. He told my mom, he was like, Lester turning 40. We old as shit now. And here I am thinking that I have, and I still do, believe that I'm in like my old stage, my elder stage. He's just like, if you old, then we old as fuck. So, but yeah, here we are.
Here we are.
So what have you been up to this week? Tell me.
Well, still in rehearsals and working the 9 to 5.
Remind me what you're in rehearsals for.
This play called The Revolutionists by Lauren Gunderson, and it is performed by the Violet Surprise Theater Company, which is a traveling theater group. So yeah, we were just in the beginning stages of our rehearsals still. So all of our rehearsal sessions that we've had have been very, very great learning experiences. Oh, I've also saw some shows. You know what? In this age, I have to refer to my calendar.
Oh my goodness.
Because every time someone, and you just went through this too, because I told you that's the same thing I go through, is that every time, someone asks me like, hey, what'd you do? Or like anytime I need to reference something,
right,
I got to go back to my calendar.
To remember like the timeline.
Yes.
When this happened.
Yes. To check my timelines, especially. And so like I got to go back to my calendar and like click on some dates here. I'm like, wait, I did do some things.
That's right.
So, had dinner with the Divorced Wives Club.
I love the name. I've not been to any of you guys' things, obviously, because I don't qualify. But whenever you mention that name, I always think about the First Wives Club. Oh, rest in peace. What's that lady that was in First Wives Club? Not Bette Midler, because she's still alive and kicking.
Diane Keaton. Yeah.
Rest in peace, Diane Keaton. But anyways.
Yeah.
Divorcees Club.
Yeah, Divorced Wives Club. Yep, had dinner with them. It's always a riot with those girls. And then, let's see, what else did I do? Oh, one of my cast members, one of my very close friends, she was in a production of The Odd Couple over at Triton.
Ooh. I didn't know Triton had a theater program.
Yes, they do have a theater program. They do have one.
Okay.
A.
Come on, A.
Yes, they have a theater company or a theater program. And like the director that I have, like right now, she was part of that over there. And it's just like they do a lot with what they have resources for. and it's not a whole lot.
Okay.
So
but they make the best of what they got.
They do like they it's like you can see how much a group loves something when they are willing to make a production the way it looked. You know what I'm saying? And it looked like they all love what they did, and they all love to come through together for the theater and to tell these stories. And so it was so good. It was very cute. And this I think it's a Neil Simon. It was based off the Neil Simon play, The Odd Couple, but it's with women.
Odd Couple with women.
Yeah.
Okay.
So really cute. One of my friends was in that one, saw that over the weekend, and I won tickets to go see Grizzly Bear.
Weren't we just talking about bears in that episode of when we talk about grief? Yeah, I did. When we talk about if women would rather be locked in a room with a man or a bear.
Was it grief or was it?
It was the grief one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, I do remember.
Which is out right now.
Oh, yeah.
Part 2 is out right now at the time of us recording this. But anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, so you went to go see a few of the peeps on the stage.
Yeah. The peeps on stage. I don't know them.
I thought you knew the one girl you said.
Oh, those
friend.
Peeps. Yeah. I mean, because the last thing I was talking about was the concert that I went to last night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. Let me rewind then. Yes. Thank you.
So the concert, who was that?
Yeah, that was over at the Salt Shed. And so there's this really cool subscription program called Do More 312.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm part of that, and every now and then I get like concert tickets or my choice of concert tickets.
Okay.
Every month, and sometimes I get like multiple shows, which like I'm getting a bunch right now.
Okay.
So I won those tickets to see Grizzly Bear. I'm just like, well, I do know like a couple songs of theirs, and I do like the Salt Shed, so I'm like, I might as well go.
What kind of group is that? The Grizzly Bears?
It's kind of indie. What it is indie, but like it's like a cross between folk and.
Okay.
There's lots of instruments, but it's not really folk. It's hard to explain, but I'm pretty sure that you might have heard some of their songs on like a commercial or maybe in like an A24 film.
Oh, okay.
I'm not like I'm just saying.
Might be in a thriller.
No, not like a thriller, but
drama.
like a movie that would be produced by that film company. They will use like indie music for a soundtrack or some type of other independent film company type of movie, you know. So gotcha. Like I'll hear a song from those films or something like that, and then I'm like, oh, and I'll look them up on like Apple Music and then or on YouTube, and then I'll just like, oh, and then I go into
then you've got some new music for you.
Yeah, new music. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta look them up. What'd you say? The Bears?
Grizzly Bear.
Grizzly Bear. I gotta look them up. Okay. Any other happenings this weekend or this week?
I mean, not as big as the fact that you turn 40.
Oh my God. I feel like I want to nap right now. And I've had plenty sleep. Oh, Jesus. Oh. So yeah.
Oh, is it setting in?
I hope not. So yeah, I turned 40 yesterday technically, and this week has been like this lead up, like this whole, I'm in my last stages of my 30s. You know, what am I doing?
We got text this digital reflection. That does turn on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, well, to segue into this,
my God.
the episode of today that we were talking about is talking about aging.
Let's talk about aging. Let's talk about it. Let's get through this. You know, one of the things I've said this on one of the other episodes, and I'm going to repeat it. I never want to be one of those people that become complacent with the way things are. But I can feel that spirit hovering around me all the time now. It's like, what is this music? What? We've got this. I mean, so I don't think this is an aging thing, but maybe it is. I don't know, because I've got to ask my niece or nephew, maybe my play babies. What are y'all okay with AI, like AI music, AI artists? You know,
that is the
non-human,
craziest thing
because
to me.
I am in alignment with, you know, the artists who I look up to, minus Timbaland, because he's actually for these AI folks, and I think he bought one. So fuck him. I guess fuck him on that front.
So now that it's affecting you.
Yeah, but for the most part, like, there's this one soul artist, I forget her name, and I don't want to know her name. This AI soul artist, who is out there and she's charting. I think the woman who made this artist is from Mississippi, and there's a real artist who I do like, whose name is K. Michelle. She's a R&B girl who's trying to do country. She's from Memphis. Someone in my family told me that she is in our family too, but anyways. She used to be a cast member on Love and Hip Hop, you know, which is one of my, you know, guilty pleasure shows. But they're saying that this AI artist sounds a lot like K. Michelle. And she did a live recently where she said she's considering maybe suing the label or whoever it is that's behind that AI artist. And I think that she should.
Because how do these machines, how are they able to generate something like that in the first place? Obviously, it's an information-based type of system, right? So
I don't know what they fed this thing for it to spit out the R&B song that it spit out, but
it sounds like you said K. Michelle.
The woman who's doing this R&B, this AI woman, they're saying sounds a lot like K. Michelle. And Jermaine Dupri, who you guys may remember, you know, the producer behind, you know, So Def from the 90s, who brought us groups like, you know, Escape, and did all these collaborative songs with Mariah Carey and those kind of things. Jermaine Dupri, right? He went to social media and he said, and I 100% agree with him, I'm on this with him. He said, I remember in the 90s when there was a little group called Milli Vanilli out. You remember Milli Vanilli?
Yes, and I remember, and I know where you're,
They were up for a Grammy, and when the news broke out that it wasn't them singing, it was this other group, and they were just lip syncing to them, you know, when that whole thing happened. They had actually got a Grammy at that point for this music, and they're like, I think they retracted it, and they had to give it back once they found out that was not their voices. He said essentially that's what's going on now with this AI person. Why are we celebrating? Why is this person even being considered for a Grammy and all these accolades? And it's not a real voice. It's not a real thing. You know, the only thing real about this particular artist I'm talking about is the lady who made her in Mississippi said that those were her lyrics, her poems, and she fed that into the system, her poetry. And I guess told them to make a R&B song or whatever it is they took, and it spit out what it spit out. So essentially, I guess those are her words, but she's not singing those words. She didn't arrange that music, you know, or anything like that. She's not a musician. So, and Gayle King did an interview with the young lady that's where I'm getting this information from. I saw pieces of that interview, and Gail King told her right to her face, you can't actually sing. So, what are we doing? Anyway,
Because
if that makes me old, damn it, I will be on that old train. I can't get with fake artists.
See, I was telling you, like, you already knew how I felt about this, especially as a writer.
Because it spills over to all mediums, I think.
It's spilling over into everything, even into the job sector where AI is like replacing actual people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like, honestly, it can be good in some instances, but it is really doing a lot of
damage.
Yeah. It's devastating a lot of things. Like, I mean, it's even eating out the water supply. Like, it is just crazy how deep this how the cost of using something like this for convenience or for more profit, or you know what I'm saying?
Right.
For models like that, like, there's a lot of cost, and it's detrimental to actual human beings, which is
that's the more pressing issue for sure.
Yeah.
Is how this is actually affecting actual human beings. Yeah, and people. One of the things they had mentioned with this artist is that, so like I mentioned, K. Michelle's from Memphis, Tennessee. And while we're talking about the political part of AI, there is this huge, like, what company is that Elon Musk has? Whatever,
Tesla?
Whatever his AI company has. It's like they have a factory in Memphis, Tennessee. And there's this whole thing going on right now because, it takes all that fresh water to keep those machines and stuff going, that they've got this factory that powers this AI model that is under Elon Musk. And the fact that this fake artist that's out there sounds like a real artist that comes from that city, Memphis, Tennessee. The irony behind that, they have a real artist that could be making this music who sounds just like this one that you guys have out there. And they essentially kind of, I guess, hail from the same place, Memphis, Tennessee, because the AI that's feeding it is I guess in Memphis. So just a lot of weird shit going on as it concerns AI. So yeah, that I can't get with, and I don't see myself getting with anytime soon. I don't know. I just don't see how they could make that make sense for someone who identifies and has put in the work to become a musician of sorts. Just like I imagine for someone who, like yourself, who has a journalism degree and you have the skill set and the desire to write, seeing some of those kind of chat box AI and chat GPTs assisting with communication efforts being a sore spot.
Well, assisting with communication is not something that I have a sore spot with AI for.
Okay.
But for me, it is like, as far as the creative side of it, where some type of like big shot producer, like, who's just trying to just churn out some type of fast food entertainment, where it's just like, okay, you just say some type of storyline and then tell AI to like create a whole screenplay around it. And then there it is.
Yeah.
And then that's your movie. And then you can even put that into some type of like visual model now. And you can even take people's like faces and stuff, which is even more troubling to me.
Very creepy.
People's freaking identities, and turn that into something. And then you have like this whole like fake manufactured, like spiritless form of entertainment that was created just for the sole purpose of making money. That's the part that vexes me.
Yeah.
It's just taking that away from human beings, is that art of telling a story for like that sole purpose of just like churning. Like, that is just, God, that is,
it's terrible. Yeah, I totally agree. So I guess that's a good place to start. Like, that's part of, and I opened,
back in my day,
we were real.
we did real, we did the cameras that we had to hold.
The cursive we had to learn.
We had to learn how to write with our hands, with sticks, with rolly balls in it. And we could never find one when we actually needed to find one. That was the only way we could actually write.
Not cursive.
All of it.
All of that. So I'm starting off with that in terms of like, I guess a place that I don't see myself wanting to grow is, and I say grow, I'm trying to be optimistic about it, saying that maybe there is a purpose outside of capitalism for this, but I don't really see that yet. So and I feel like that's probably going to be the only thing that I talk about in terms of like not wanting to budge when it comes to, and if it makes me old, whatever. But in terms of like some of the other stuff, social media, I'm on there all the time. So I'm good with social media. I hate the capitalism part of it, but capitalism is a part of everyday life, especially here in America. What is that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, look. I'm going to tell y'all what happened. I'm about to tell y'all exactly what happened because you can't see it. Y'all, so we're in this back room. It snowed the other day, and this is where we record in my second bedroom, which is like my studio area. And I stayed next to a lot of wooded areas. So like in the spring, summertime, when it's warm out, there's bugs, there's wasps,
not there.
And things that's, even though I've got like my doors closed and stuff like that, it seems like at least one time every year, somehow a wasp gets into my unit. It causes a disruption. And we smoked a little bit, but also Leslie's over here. She's got these cool pants with these things on the side of them, the sequins.
Like the sensory sequins.
And she was over there like playing with them, and it sounded like really aggressive wings, which I like, wasp wings. And I'm used to hearing that because,
like this one.
Yeah, if you're not paying attention, it sounds like that. It sounded like that to me. So it freaked me out. And I've been hearing it a little bit ever since we sat here. I guess it's been you playing with your secrets. Oh, God.
It is crazy because, a wasp in this weather, there's snow on the ground.
There's snow on the ground. And it's because I know they have like their little probably nest things right outside because I'm on the third floor, and this is where they like heights and stuff like that. That's why I feel like I always see one. But anyways, we're past the moment. But I thought there was a wasp here, and it was Leslie playing with. I hope that's not a sign of my age.
No.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I'd freak out if I was 30.
Yeah, right. That's scary anyway. You always, that has always been consistently a trait. Like
with me, and I'll likely carry it for a while. Although I have the same visceral reaction to like wasps, especially since I've learned more about them and how they like really don't serve a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But like with bumblebees, which I've not seen in a while, which is kind of a little creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like I don't see as many bumblebees in the city in Chicago.
Well, there's not a whole lot of pollinator plants in those areas. But they like are dying more back off, in the day. Though. Yeah, and lightning bugs.
Yeah, and lightning bugs. I hate that we're in this space right now where we're like talking about things that we used to see and that we would love to see come back. Because now I feel like we sound like old biddies right now.
Well,
these kids don't know about lightning bugs and bees.
We used to catch bugs.
We used to catch them and put them in jars, and I did that. Did you do that when you were young?
Yeah, and now look what happened. They're
now they're all
much gone. Like, and I bet you, if we ever tell that, well, they're gonna hear it now. If we ever tell that to our kids, mine is gonna be like, "Mom, dude." So, like, if that ever comes up, if you ever say that, just remember they're going to be like, wait, so you're telling me that you used to go outside and catch lightning bugs and put them in a jar and do what with them?
They would sit in that jar.
Just sit in the jar. And
they would act as like night lights.
Yeah. When
Until
they're pretty much.
died.
Oh, yeah. And you're complaining about the fact that they're extinct now.
Wait, say that now, right?
No, because I'm okay.
Yes.
So the logic, so the logic. So what I'm saying is, these kids are gonna be like, "Wait, you're talking about there was a time where y'all used to catch lightning bugs, and you put them in a jar. You pretty much caught them all, put them in a jar, killed them, and then you're complaining about them being extinct."
Yeah. Well,
yeah. Well, that's how these kids think now.
We were children. We didn't think that they were going to die, even though we didn't give them air pockets.
Just like we blame the boogers for these mortgage rates.
Oh.
The whole credit system. They're gonna blame us for freaking killing the planet further, I guess. I don't know. But we can blame the boomers for that too, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Let me not say that.
We don't want to start some shit. Maybe we do. I don't know. I don't care.
Let me ask you, when you mention, looking at our liner notes, consumerism as a cultural change, what did you mean by that?
Well, pretty much how we consume things. Like now, before, when we ordered takeout,
right,
we had to like open a phone book or find
like a flyer.
We had
menu.
Dial on an actual phone.
I remember I had a rotary phone as well.
I used the rotary phone at my grandma's house, my mom's mom's.
Yeah.
So like we had to get like a phone book because internet wasn't used like it is right now. Like at all.
Even at its inception, because the system is whatever you put in, it wasn't
expected as a business to have a website at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you wanted to get Chinese food from somewhere, and the only way that you know how to reach them is through like that menu that has the phone number on it,
right?
Then that's what you had to go dig in the junk drawer to get the little menu thing.
There
for the
was
pamphlet.
no DoorDash.
There was a paper thing, and you had to pull it out. You had to pick what you want. You had to actually talk to an actual person and hope that they got your order right. Because everything's loud in the background.
Right.
And trying to take your order, and they're shouting over people, and you're probably shouting over somebody because you're trying to take a multiple order.
Right.
So it's just like that whole experience is lost now because all you have to do is just pull up your phone. You don't even get the
Hey Siri, open DoorDash.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, you can just talk to
a cheeseburger. Oh my God, hold on. My phone is listening to me. My phone just opened DoorDash.
See, that's weird.
See, but yeah, that's where we're at. I see what you mean now with you talk about
convenience culture.
I don't know if I'm so mad at that, but what's your thoughts?
It's getting too much. It's getting way too much because
we established that AI is definitely too much.
Yeah, that's a part of convenience culture too.
Mm-hmm.
How we buy things to throw away, how there's so much trash that's created, and there's no accountability on what are we going to do with it?
Mm-hmm.
Especially with all these plastics and stuff. So many things now are plastic instead of glass or, I don't know, whatever else. Whatever.
That's a new word today.
I'm not going to use that, but I'll probably like whisper it like, yes. But anyway, only between us. That's it.
Right.
Because I only have.
That's a family term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
outside of AI, you were saying what else is?
So like how we order food and how like we even plan vacations.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, like, you don't have to talk to anybody, but it's just like how, like, I was talking about like the plastic containers and things like that, how we create so much waste from it. Like, yeah, planning vacations and things like that, those are fun and that's makes things easy. But when we get to a point where we can just order food like whenever at such a high volume, there's going to be a lot of those containers. And I know that people just throw those away. Okay. I'm one of those freaks. Yeah. Like, I'm one of those freaks that like hangs on to them.
Me too. Well, that's why we're friends. Yeah. Because I have a whole storage unit in the kitchen where
those are my dishes
for Tupperware.
Yeah, right. Those are my food storage containers.
That's right.
But now, like, because of the type of plastics that mass-produced types of materials are made out of, like those letch out microplastics and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's even bad for the health. It's just the easier things become, like, we can't account for the cost of the waste that's created from it, or the devastation or the loss of something, or the detriment to actual human beings.
Do you think that's more of an issue for like our government, or something that is more the onus is on us as the consumers? I just say that because, like, at the risk of sounding old again, one of the things I find that I talk to like folks like you and folks in our age demographic about is like how food tastes different now than it did back then.
Yeah, because it's not real food anymore.
Yeah, they've added more processed, and I feel like it was probably processed stuff there when we was younger as well, but not to the height of where it's at now, to where we like go to a place like Paris that doesn't, someplace in Europe that, and they have fresher food because they ban the processed shit like we should be doing. And
isn't that crazy how like M&M's has 2 different candies?
Right. But see, here's my thing though. If you, at least for me, the friends that I've known that have gone to Paris, they say one of the things you got to watch out for is getting sick off the food, not because something's wrong with it. It's because our systems are so laced with the preservatives and all the fake stuff that when you feed it fresh food the way it's supposed to be, we get sick.
It's a shock to the system.
It's a shock to the system. So it's like you end up getting these, you think it's food poisoning or some sort of stomach flu, and it's really your stomach.
Detox.
Oh my God. That's not high fructose corn syrup. It's real sugar. What? I'm melting. What a world. Isn't that's terrible? But so I guess that's another thing. I'm in agreement with you. Those kind of things are detriment outside of AI, how we produce food, how we, I don't know. I would challenge the social media one, because for me, I know I don't even utilize my social medias as well as I could as it concerns my art, because I utilize Facebook like I was there when it happened. And like, if you watch the movie, for those of you who have not seen the Facebook movie, if you remember from the movie, and this is true because I was there, thefacebook.com.
It was called The Facebook.
Thefacebook.com was a social media platform that was only meant for college students initially.
Yep.
So when I started my first Facebook account, I had to use my @columbia.edu email to sign up.
And
I was a freshman.
And it wasn't every college too at one point. It was only certain schools before.
Right.
Because, yeah, you couldn't get on there with just any EDU web address. You had to, there were like select colleges. I didn't think it opened up to everybody until like maybe 2002 or 2003. Because I was able to get mine in 2000. Did I get it in 2003? Or 2004.
It would have had to been 2000.
It was 2004.
It would have had to been fall of 04, because that was my freshman year. And how I remember access to Facebook was I was taking one of my first acting classes at Columbia, and we a few of the girls and myself. It was wintertime. We had one of my first pictures on my Facebook is that picture we took outside the acting studios at Columbia, outside in the snow. And I'm like in the back making this crazy face or whatever. But I remember that was like one of my first photos posted on Facebook. And that's when I first got access to the Facebook at that time. So that would have been your sophomore year, my freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
Another freshman, sophomore deal. But
the college version.
Yeah. So I use my social media, I think, the way it was intended as a means to connect with folks that I actually know, or to connect with people who I maybe want to get to know based off of maybe how they're connected to friends that I actually have, or the certain communities that I'm in. So
yeah, it was for like networking.
Yeah.
It was a social network.
And now it's been another thing.
A weaponized network.
Another thing that's kind of pissed me off about, like, specifically
what's
Facebook,
been grinding your gears?
What's been great, and I didn't want this to turn into an old man's thing, but we are here now. I remember both in the movie and seeing Mark Zuckerberg in previous like court cases and things talk about how he never wanted this to become like a consumer, like a capitalistic kind of thing. Like, I remember he swore that he would never like have ads on Facebook or any of the social media. And now we have the ads. He is a totally different. When that moment happened for me, even though he's already been dipping his hand in that capitalism bucket or whatever. But when I started to see ads on Facebook, my heart broke a little bit. I was just like, you broke your promise, Mark. You remember you said you would not do this. Now we've got ads here.
Dang it, Mark.
Why'd you lie? You lied, Mark.
You lied, Mark.
So, shit like that is sad to me. So sad. And I hate that that's happened. I know I said that I don't want things to change, but damn it, there's because I'm okay with things changing if things are changing for the betterment.
Right. I'm like, there's evil behind those changes.
Those changes are kind of ridiculous. Right. It's like going backwards.
Yeah. Like, what happened to it's free, but now freedom's at a cost of getting marketed to.
Right. And when the other part,
and the algorithms that are just like really invasive.
That's the thing that scares me too with the algorithms, because with the algorithms, that's almost like a capitalism move to me, because while there is a part of it that I enjoy, right? The part where if I'm chatting with friends or texting with friends, like, oh my God, I'm looking for this shoe and I can't find it anywhere. Oh my goodness. And then I go to Facebook and there's an ad for that shoe that I said I wanted. I love that. Yes.
Yeah, it is kind of nice. Yeah.
Right. But what I don't like is the part of it where it could be these things are listening to us in our conversations, and now we're inundated with almost everything that we speak about. It could be just a kind of off thing, like, oh, I didn't like this therapist. Now all of a sudden I'm seeing BetterHelp ads on Facebook, and I'm okay with the therapist that I have. Just it's the inundation. It kind of feels like harassment.
Yeah. And you know that the reason behind this urgency of eyes behind all these ads is so that there can be a profit made from it. And obviously, if you're being worn down to see the same image over and over again of what you should buy, which is something that is part of like how this capitalist machine works.
Right.
Like, if you're constantly barraged with something that you think that you may need, then they're going to make you think that you need it.
Yeah.
And it's going to like give you all these algorithms, like all you get the ad for the same thing, but a different type of ad now for the same type of weird stuff. Like, I have been seeing the same freaking deodorant ads pop up so much to the point, because like, that's not like, I don't use regular deodorant. And I don't stink. Like, no, not all the time. But
I've never smelled you stinky.
Thank you. See? I try. but I don't like to use products that are like, when I stopped
Full of
using
preservatives.
aluminum, like in the deodorant, I didn't get like cysts or like weird pimples underneath my armpits. And I enjoy not having like to scratch itch. But anyway, so like that, those are obviously better products for me.
Yeah.
But then it gets to the point where if I even click on another, like an alternative of it, because those are the ads that pop up in my face, because I'm like searching for one thing, then I'll get like several ads of the same product, but like 8 or 9 different types of commercials, I should say, throughout like the reels or suggested reels, or like those little things in the like the bottom, or anything that pops up. You know, like that's just.
So the way what you're just, it's like we're now going into like where it's kind of like an inconvenience, right? And kind of annoying.
It's not so much an inconvenience, it's an intrusion.
It's an intrusion.
It's a disruption.
Let me go a little bit deeper and darker. The algorithms, especially when we talk about like politics, for instance.
Yes, it could put you in a vacuum.
It opens up because of the capitalist part of it, where it's like just clickbait, get your attention. They're vying for your attention. They want to feed you stuff that you want to see. That's when we get into this. We get to a space where what's true becomes very blurred and skewed and gray, and things are no longer black and white like they used to be. Now you're able to see content that may not necessarily be true, but it fits a narrative that you want to see and read. And that's where things get dangerous, because then you get people believing things that are not true, that things that are not happening, things that won't happen. And you're debating with professionals, people who are studied at whatever medium that they're in, and you're debating them with information that a computer that knows that it wants to feed you things that you want to see there aligned with your thoughts. Now you're enacting, you're moving in your life based off of an algorithm that is not true, like fully true. And
it's not reflective of reality.
Not reflective of reality and what's really going on. So talking about what's actually real, they don't know what's actually real, because what they're getting fed is just things that they already believe in. That's how the algorithms work. So I feel like I'm complaining more than anything. This is terrible.
We are those uncles and aunties that gathered in the garage. Yep. Smoking and drinking and complaining.
I'm actually okay with the smoking part if it's marijuana.
Yeah, and I'm good with the other things too.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even though it's kind of like, oh, we're getting to that part, because we remember them when we were kids, right?
Right.
They would always be like, we were never invited in there, and we were not welcomed in there either, unless we were trying to get them something.
That's right.
You know?
But I think with my family, it was more because of what they were talking about. I don't think I had any weed smoking, but they definitely drank a little bit back in those.
Yeah, I think more of it was more like cigarettes and like beer, like cocktails or whatever. But like, there wasn't like a whole lot of drinking, but like the aesthetic is something like we are. I know that in my, like growing up, most of it was like my mom not smoking, like none of that. But like most of them, like if we went to a family party or something and we were trying to leave, but they would be in that group talking so much. And sometimes when all the good cousins left, you just be like stuck over there. And can we leave? Like, no, you just go over there or whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you can't contribute to the conversation or you're not old enough to be over here, then you weren't over there. But my aesthetic is what I envision is like that group of people the older, the not old, but the older ones, the aunties and uncles,
Mm-hmm.
who would just like gather in the garage and have conversations or just talk shit about the things that they want to complain about.
Yep. And
then just talking shit. Like, it's not even serious conversation. It's just, and sometimes things might get heated, but
right.
I'm good with being in that vision.
Vision. I like it too. I do. And we're doing it here on this podcast.
We're doing it here.
We're doing it here on this podcast. So let me ask you then, in terms of like how we feel about being in our 40s, what about the mentality? Any changes to like your physicality or any maybe things, the way that you think now versus the way you think, the way you thought in your 20s or your 30s?
Yes. Like,
I'm so bad with open-ended questions.
Well, and being like, and getting up to this age right now,
Mm-hmm.
I just don't care. I mean, it's not that I don't care. I really do. But right now, I'm learning how to really preserve my energy as far as handling things that I would like put so much effort into.
Okay.
I mean, in my 20s, like it would, I remember at some point it would take me about like 3 or 4 hours to get ready to go somewhere because,
oh my God.
Yeah, because I had like a look in my head that I wanted to execute, and I would go through like 5 or 6 costume changes, quote unquote costume changes.
Oh my goodness.
Or outfit changes because of it. That's just not what I liked. It didn't look like it does in real life, like it did in my head, or like
right.
etc. And so that would take so long for me to get ready. Like most times I'd be late or uncomfortable or unnatural or inauthentic, because I would be catering to this image that is just not real, instead of like focusing on the part where I just want to go out.
You care more about the aesthetic than
about like what I look like, because of the fact that my mom was always telling me, don't leave out the house looking any kind of way.
My mom said the same thing.
See, yes, it's a thing.
Yeah,
it was a thing. So when the older I got, the more I let go of that, because it was just really, really stressful.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I don't want to feel this way anymore. What can I let go of so that I don't feel like I can't breathe, or I'm doing so much to myself, like all the processing of my hair, like going through like all the makeup, and just putting myself through so much physical abuse to even be a certain size, and not understand that the things that I'm doing to be a certain size is setting me up for the problems that I'm having right now.
Jesus.
Dumb bitch. So
get Cher out of here.
Yeah. So like, I feel like mentally, and then therapy also works too. When I was able to get that.
Did you have therapy when you were in your 20s?
No.
When did you? I know for me, my first time doing therapy was, I take that back. I was going to say during COVID. Actually, I'll tell this quick story. My first time seeking therapy actually had to do with when I was at work. I had started applying for different roles that I saw my colleagues kind of advance to, that started in sales and were moving into. I think the role that broke me was, it was an education role. I was very well versed, I thought, in the product that I had been selling for, I think at this point, maybe 4 or 5 years. And I'm like, I want to do something different. I want to move into education, and interviewed, didn't get it. Then I was kind of looking into a field position. Actually, I take that back. It wasn't education. It was a field position in Arizona, and they flew me out there to interview.
Oh, wow.
And I interviewed for the region out there at our home office in Arizona. I was prepared to move there for this role. I thought I was definitely a shoe-in for it. I had a friend that I used to work with that was over there, and I didn't get it. And I found out that the person that got it was like related to someone on the panel that I just interviewed with. And I was just like, why would y'all spend the money to have me interview if you already kind of had an idea that, of this person? That's when I learned the term nepotism. I didn't know what that was before then, and I learned that word through therapy because I don't know what happened, but it was like one day I was so frustrated with the job I was in. I had already been in it for maybe almost 2 years. I'm a pretty ambitious person. Like in my mind, career wise, I always want to be making some sort of move within like a year or two. Mm-hmm. And I remember clocking out for the day, going to my car, and like getting emotional, crying, kind of. I mean, tears were coming out. My eyes were watery because I was just like, I'm frustrated. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get over these hurdles. How am I going to compete with someone's family member? How am I going to compete with this person, that person? I just was feeling really down. I'm like, I need to see therapy. That's when I started to look into it. I found out my job had an employee assistance program, and I called the number, told them I would like to speak to a therapist, and that was my first time. So that would have been 2016, maybe 2015. And afterwards, I was able to, like I said, learn some terms and kind of get the energy and the oomph that I needed to continue on. And not, because the issue you find out is not necessarily having the emotion. It's about allowing that emotion to anchor you in that one space versus being able to process it the right way so that you can move on and can continue on. So
yeah,
I was able to do that. How about, so therapy is a thing that I think helped me get to where I'm at now mentally. What about you?
So I will take that back. The first time I did therapy was I was in my 20s. It was after I delivered my first child.
That I would want to go to therapy too after that. I'm like, oh my God, a whole human being came out of me.
Postpartum depression.
My goodness.
And
what is that?
So
for the men out there who don't have folks that don't have a vagina.
So the ones who can deliver children.
Right. There you go. Thank you.
So once a person delivers another whole ass human being out of their body,
it's magic.
Yeah. That's why. Yeah. It's magic. Thanks, Hollywood. So once a person produces another person outside of their body cavity, that can dramatically change all kinds of chemicals in the person who delivered. Say, like, not only are you just blasting out this other person, like a whole like human outside, like a baby, like, oh God, it's just a whole thing. It's just weird to me, like pregnancy. But it's such a big taxation on the human body.
Okay.
Where chemicals get like all kinds of shifted, like everything. That was.
Did you get the with my limited knowledge on giving birth, the what they call epidural shot?
Yes,
that was supposed to be.
That
you guys can't see. I was given.
See, and that's the thing. That doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
Okay, that's just delivery. The recovery part takes months, if not years and longer. Like that whole snapback bullshit where you're supposed to just be okay, like after a few days. That's freakish. That is incredibly just a foul lie from the pit of hell. It's like, no, are you kidding me?
Hollywood lied to you.
Thanks, Hollywood. So anyway, like
Jesus.
the fact that like that really takes a toll on someone, not just physically but mentally also, because I did not recognize myself in the mirror like at all. I totally had it wasn't just body dysmorphia, it was person dysmorphia. Like I did not know who the fuck that was that I was looking at. It was weird. It was weird. I remember it to this day. I'm just like, wait a second. Because I had all my like postpartum outfit. Like I was just going to snap right back and see like that little cute size 12.
Mm-hmm.
Hell no. I didn't realize I gained like 60 pounds. I was huge. And then after delivering, not realizing, you know, I wasn't like extremely large after that because I was looking at photos and things. Like, I obviously going through postpartum depression because everything is all out of whack. I didn't have the emotional intelligence at 23 to figure out, like, okay, I'm going through this, and this is probably why I'm acting, or I feel like I should act this way.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't have the power to deduce my behavior versus like what was going on in reality. I didn't have any of that. So,
my goodness.
Yeah. Like, oh, man.
So was it like a out of body kind of experience? And was it only when you were in the mirror, or just was it like after giving birth, you just like, I am not Leslie. Well, who is this new person?
It wasn't like that. Like I'm floating around as times it kind of
like
felt
a
like
mushroom experience.
Ghost. Well, no, it wasn't like that. Maybe being on the drugs while I was pregnant. Like, not. Oh my God, that is gonna sound so bad. being on
correction.
Yeah, like honestly, context here, but like being in the delivery room with the epidural and those body numbing drugs that I had in order to give birth, even though I still felt some things, and I can't imagine how bad I would have felt. Jesus. Or maybe they gave me like a small dose. I don't know. But my sister was just like, if they're going to give you drugs, you shouldn't feel anything. And I was just like, but that's not true.
Right, because they can't overdo it because that might compromise your health.
I don't fucking know. Make it stop. Pull it out. Get me out of here.
Get this thing out of here.
It is a very traumatic experience. I don't know why that people are trying to sugarcoat this thing.
I'm so glad I'm not a birth giver.
I'm telling you, man. Like, I do not recommend. If you really want to make another person, great. Like, I'm not gonna shit on your sunshine.
Right.
Do what you want to do, but the whole experience for me, absolutely not. And I was pregnant a second time. I had a miscarriage. So yeah, nope. I'm not doing it again.
I think the only thing that I can think of in my life that has been as traumatic as, and it's not even like a quarter of the trauma that you mentioned, is
it will never be a quarter of the
right.
Sorry.
Is when my balls dropped. So this would have been before you knew me, right? So before you knew me, like I've sung my entire life, but I had a totally different voice. Like right now you get a lot of bass, a lot of...
That's all how I've known you.
Before my balls dropped, I used to be able to hit Mariah Carey notes. I had such an angelic high voice, singing voice, and I lost that. I thought I was sick for the longest. I thought there was something going on that I could recover from. And then come to find out, nope, just puberty.
Yeah.
You'll never sing like Mariah Carey again.
Got that boy.
We're going from Mariah Carey to Barry White overnight. That's literally what happened. And yeah, but there's no therapy for that kind of stuff. So I
from
just
Carey to Barry.
Yeah, from Carey to Barry.
But when I had postpartum depression, all that, that's when I sought therapy.
Okay.
Because I figured that maybe I should get some type of help.
Yeah.
This was weird. But and it was provided through the military.
Mm-hmm.
So
because you were married.
Yeah. I was married and I was getting health benefits via the military and from my ex-husband.
Mm-hmm.
And like one of the nurses, I think it was a male nurse too. He was so sweet. He even told me that, yeah, why would you go on birth control? Tell him to go on birth control. Those things, because he was telling me there's so many things that happen to the female body that, like, because of these drugs, like, all dudes got to go is just get zip, zap, and get it reversed. Zap.
My God.
Like, that's it. And it can be reversible too. He told me this in 2008. So, yeah, like, and then he was just like, I think that when he saw me come in for a checkup or whatever, because like that was a very difficult delivery. I was in the hospital for a week. I had preeclampsia. That, like, totally different crazy ass thing. But like, you know, he suggested that I talk to somebody. He's like, yeah, have you ever thought about like just seeking a therapist or something? Because usually people told me to talk to a chaplain. And I was just like, what is a chaplain?
So go to the church?
Yeah.
Was it someone like in your family that said that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's the whole, I feel like that's the Black thing. Like, we don't go to therapists, we go to church and we talk to the pastor.
The crazy shit though, I know that when I told my mom that I was going to see it, that was like, I went for a therapy session because I only saw her once. And I only saw her once because I was feeling embarrassed and ashamed.
Yeah.
So I didn't go to the other sessions. But like, I remember telling my mom I went, and I think she thought that I was like losing my mind. Because it seems like that's when it's okay to go, is when you think that you're on a mental break. And I think that is what like I was taught as I was raised. Like, if you have to go to see a therapist, then it must be extremely bad
it's like
for you.
Getting shot. And you're like, oh, I have to go to the hospital because
it's like ER.
Yeah.
For your brain.
Well, I think I got that same messaging too, because just like you, like I was seeing this therapist, and it's a couple different factors, but part of the factor is what you mentioned. Like, you sit back and you realize, I'm not crazy, and I don't think I need it. So you go through all the things because of how we were raised, thinking like, oh, you must be a cuckoo to have to go to therapy.
Really off.
So part of that, what you say, shame, I experienced that as well. The other thing, I didn't have words for it then, but I recognize that finding a therapist is much like finding a physical trainer. Like, you're not just going to magically just mesh with anybody. You have to be very particular and selective with who you choose if you want, the best results for you. So just picking some random therapist, just like or picking some random physical trainer, it may not work. You guys may not click. They may not do enough studying on your type of body and what you need for a diet and a workout plan, and you end up not getting the results that you seek. And then you're just like, oh, well, fuck this. It's the same thing with therapy. It has taken me years to figure out the formula. And now that I have that, I'm very selective and very intentional with therapists. So, and now I'm there regularly.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to get to the point where we're going to be at the point of breakdown to see them. It could be,
it's maintenance. Just when you get a physical therapist, a trainer, it's people who are in great shape that have most of the people that I know that are in good shape have trainers. It's not because they need it because they're trying to lose a crazy amount of weight or something. They're maintaining or they're doing small changes. I love comparing like mental health to your physical health because there's a lot of intersections.
Well, yeah, and I want to say if you're going to compare it to your physical health, let's go even deeper. Like your doctor, your primary care physician.
Right.
Those people are the ones who are actually been to extensive educational training and having an educational background and certification that has been collectively decided, okay, they are qualified to tell you what's going on with you by looking at your blood, by looking at your whole physicality, recommending medications, things like that,
Right.
for you to just like live, you know? So I think like mental health goes a little bit deeper than just like the physical trainer who is just there as like a supplement, you know?
For sure.
So,
and then also to your point, there's a difference between mental health professional that studied and going to a pastor who may not have even studied theology in the most efficient way.
I would say that's kind of like that's more comparable to a physical trainer because like what is the qualifications or the prereqs or what do they got to go through in order to be a personal trainer?
Like, I think a few hours of, and obviously there's some that are more tenured but
that's over time.
Yeah.
So it's just like, do you like, what is there like
you can be
like
a physical trainer in like
something?
I know when I go to the gym, LA Fitness, they have it right above the water coolers. Become a trainer in like 6 weeks or something like that. It does not take a lot to be able to become a
institution.
Trainer.
Okay, so it's institution-based qualifications,
but
just like
also,
a church,
though, if you're like a professional, not just do physical therapy for everyday folks, but like if you're like the physician, physical therapist for like a sports team, those folks go
that's a different kind
college.
Of physical therapy.
Right.
That's like some like kinetic education, kinetic wellness type of education. Because you have to learn how things heal,
right,
and
what's
how to
effective,
keep them from being
injured, and all of that. Yeah,
how the body moves and stuff like that. Yeah, but like to be a physical trainer, not a physical trainer, but a personal trainer at a boutique gym kind of thing. It's just varying results, and just like. There can be varying types of therapists too. You know what I'm saying? Like, who do you get your counsel from?
Right.
So depending on how deep you go, like, and the second time around when I got therapy was after my mom passed away.
Okay.
Because like still.
You hadn't had therapy in between?
No.
Oh.
Because of the shame. Like, after that, I didn't think I was having a mental breakdown. I thought I was doing pretty well. But like it took the death of my mother and other things on top of that where I was like, okay, I need to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I was going to lose my mind.
And to your point, I think I have, up until recently, have only really kind of sought out therapy when there was a problem. Like when I have relationship issues, find a therapist there, or when I feel like I am being overwhelmed by life. And like I mentioned the first time, I felt overwhelmed with the drive I had and not getting the results I thought I deserved with the work that I put in, and having it affect me too in a way where I was.
Where you couldn't function?
I wasn't. It was just me. The fact that I sat in my car and got teary-eyed. I'm like, why
react that way?
Why the fuck am I crying over this job and not moving around? I'm like, so that's those kind of. So to your point, I definitely see that while we're kind of in this physicality conversation, how has getting older affected you physically, the body? I could tell you for me, the first thing it wasn't even, I've only been 40 for a day. So some of these changes.
24 hours in.
Right. 24 hours in, no changes. But I would say maybe around 34, 35 is when I started to notice, oh, my knees are crackling sometimes when I sit too long and I get up. And then just kind of like, if you don't stretch, feeling stiff.
Mm-hmm.
When I say stiff, just kind of like hard to move, not like impossible to move. It's just like, oh, why is this taking so much to, that has been some of the physical things, which is why at this age, we have to be so intentional about what we eat and also how we move around. It's more pertinent now than ever.
More than ever. I was just telling you how, like, I don't, for other reasons, I do not drink like I used to. Thank God, not anymore. But even now, like, I don't drink, gosh, like remotely, I might have like a drink a month at this point, maybe even 2 a month. But anyway, like, I don't get like, I don't drink to the point where I would get hung over anyway. But where, oh my God, this is so. What does give me hangovers is if I eat junk food.
You have physical hangovers that reflect like being drunk from liquor.
Yes.
If you eat sugar.
Yes. If I eat copious amounts of sugar, like if I just go in a bender, like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna eat all these cookies.
A tub of butter pecan ice cream.
Yeah, a whole pint. A whole pint. If I go freaking nuts and I'm like, you know what, I don't feel like going back to the refrigerator and putting this back in there. I'm just gonna finish it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna eat it all right
Finish
here.
him.
Right. Like, why do I need to just walk the 30 steps to go to the refrigerator and put that in there to save myself another 1,000 calories when I can just eat it? I'm just going to eat it anyway. So why not? Just thinking I'm spreading calories amongst like days, just thinking, you know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, so I would eat a whole pint and then the next morning I would have a headache. My sinuses felt like I was in a bar, in 2003 where you could smoke in there. I would feel like that. Like my head hurt, my stomach, I would be firing from both ends sometimes. Like it was just full on body
Oh my
pain.
God.
I wouldn't want to wake up, just tired from eating like not just like 1 pint of ice cream, but maybe those cookies too. Just going on like a whole sweets bender, especially around my cycle. And
Jesus.
Yeah. And so I have to think about sometimes like all the sweets I eat because I will wake up not being able to function, just like a hangover now.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
can't eat the cheeses as much either because like that dairy.
I carry myself almost like I'm lactose intolerant, and yes, what gas pills, fiber. I just started buying fiber pills.
Really? Well,
yes.
Oh no, honey, I was taking. I was on the Metamucils.
Yeah.
Like, just so I could have better poops.
I didn't even.
And this was like when like in my early 30s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So one of the things I'm noticing just from what we're talking about is this isn't like as soon as 40 hits, these changes happen. It's been like gradual.
Yeah.
And I think just 40 just brings a realization of those changes that have been happening, like the latter part of the 30s. Really, that's probably the time to start talking and looking like, oh, I'm getting old.
Yeah.
At that time.
Because I definitely was not taking care of myself like I should have back then. I was doing like all these races. Like I was just addicted to doing 5Ks, but not addicted to doing the training before to prepare me for these 5Ks.
Okay.
So I would not there would be times where I wouldn't do any running or any working out, maybe like 2 weeks up to the day I had to start racing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I did I did a 10-mile race, and I did not train like I was supposed to for. I got through it. I earned that medal, but that was the dumbest thing I ever did, was to I think that there was at least a month where I was not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was like a month, maybe like 3 weeks at least, where I was not doing anything, up to the point where, oh, right, I have a 10-mile race tomorrow.
That's the privilege of our youth. I remember I ran
of our youth.
the cartilage. I remember one of those 5Ks because I was on it with you. That was the one and only 5K I've ever done in my life. Me, you, and she who shall not be named. We did that night 5K, I think it was.
Yeah, the glow run.
The glow run. Then I remember right after I had, this was in our 20s.
Yeah.
I remember right after, because I say we were in our 20s because this would never happen now. It would never, I mean, it would never happen. Right after the 5K, went and put on a freaking suit and went to the joint and did a whole night of singing.
Oh, did we go
right
out too?
After we went out,
my
right
God.
after. I remember bringing the suit
to the race
in my car, and then changing in the car on the way, because the race was like in Millennium Park in that area. And then,
oh my God, oh wow, we went
the goalpost is where I had a residency at the joint, and went. I remember I was so sore. The way that I be feeling stiff now just on the race, I remember feeling that at that particular gig, because I just finished this 5K, did not, as you said, prepare for it the right way. I didn't even know you could do that. I thought people just, they're in good shape and they're going to be great at the 5K, because I think maybe after like 500 or 600 feet, I was like, okay, I'm some bullshit. The run turned into a little light jog, then the light jog to a dragging my feet.
It's like, you know what? They put up all these decorations. We should stop to look at them.
Yeah. It's so cute out here. It's so nice.
And like, I was such an asshole. I would think I just ran the whole way. Like, I couldn't stop.
I don't remember. I want to say
I
feel like she who should not be named was probably near me in this. Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, I was a jerk.
I don't remember. Thankfully, I don't remember if you stuck it up with us or not. But even even if you did or didn't, I mean, if I was in the shape to make it at a better pace, I would have probably went to, like, I'll see you at the finish line.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much
I'm
what I did.
sure we saw you at the finish line, so it's no harm, no foul. Now, had you left, now that would have been some bullshit.
Yeah, like if I had went home or something.
Right. Even though they had that little party afterwards.
Or I met you at the joint, like, oh, hey.
I already got my night started. Security. Anyways.
We used to go, like all that stuff that we did.
Yeah.
Those 4 a.m. nights.
My God.
Yeah.
So we're now talking about like changes. I think we mentioned a few in our stories, and when those changes happen, like when we start to see therapy as an option versus just trying to do what a lot of us do in our community, which is suppress and not confront things and just kind of anchor yourself in these places and don't even realize it. So that's a big one. I hadn't realized that birthing was such a huge traumatic change for you.
God. People die from that.
They do. It's the mental part that you don't really necessarily think about.
No.
For me, I think I had a similar change. I mentioned the puberty, but I think just kind of being in corporate America and having to deal with like nepotism and microaggressions and all those kind of things. I heard something.
Oh, you can hear me scratching my.
No, I thought I heard something over there. Anyways.
Well,
Yeah.
I've also noticed that in you too, where you are a little bit more deductive now instead of
Deductive.
where you actually look at all of the variables that are going on and you come to a reasoning with that, or a reckoning, a reconciliation of the information you have instead of being reactionary, you know?
Right. I think that comes from not necessarily my corporate. I feel like certain things like what you're mentioning is like something that's already in you, but it just is when did that switch cut on?
Yeah.
I think for me, like I always had that from like my dad, because he was a very deductive type of person. He was a police officer. And I feel like one of the few ones that had good intentions and those kind of things. I feel like when you're in any type of position of leadership, that's when you really get to see the grit of someone when it comes to just being able to rationalize and be deductive, as you mentioned. So that's when I think it activated for me, when I decided I wanted to be in leadership, because you're dealing with different types of people and you have to be able to be leveled with folks who you would get along with outside of work, and then folks who you may not get along with outside of work. You have to be able to treat everybody on the same playing field. And that is sometimes hard and difficult, but it's not impossible.
You do that with like dating too, right? Well, you know what? Honestly, I think that you have a like a higher level approach to dating now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that has changed. And I'm seeing how you've been doing a great job of protecting your spaces, your safe places and things like that.
Yeah.
And then also seeing you like blossom more into who you are, especially with your love of art, who you are, like as far as like with pride, your LGBTQ status, all that. And it's just like, wow.
There's freedom on the other side, y'all.
Yeah. Like you like tapping even more into your authenticity and having that, like taking those tools that we had from when we were younger, like all those lessons, like not just all the bad things, but even taking from the bad something that we can apply and change it for ourselves to make things better for us. And like I've seen you grow on leaps and bounds from taking a lot of those tools that you've had like cast upon you, either in a negative or positive. They're all tools.
Right.
They're all things that we use to grow and to do better for ourselves later on, to set ourselves up for the better. And like, I think you've been setting yourself up like exponentially well on every level.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't even realize you're making all that money when you're in your 20s. That's crazy.
Well, let me tell you, because I was thinking about this. Remember when we were talking about relationships in one of the last podcasts, and we've got this famous soundbite out there where I'm like, you say, I'm embarrassed that I found my way. I found my way to my culture through dating this white guy. I can tell you, I was thinking about it while we were sitting here talking. I feel like that was definitely a pivot. And I don't think it was a bad thing. My Christian faith tells me, and I believe it, that God uses sometimes, and usually most times, the most unlikely sources to get through to you. If I had to guess as to why God operates that way, I would almost think it's our fault, because I feel like if it was through channels that we expected or that we're comfortable with, we may not get the full thing that God wants for us to get. So that's why he tends to use unlikely sources, because it's almost it like catch you off guard. So now you're more
or less
open.
likely to ignore the message, I guess.
Right. So I think that may be the purpose behind it, but definitely a pivot then. Definitely a pivot when we extracted a toxic source out of our circle. That I saw a pivot then. And the other one, it's two of them, right before your mom passed, like that year before COVID, when you started getting into like stand up and then the type of stand up you were doing. I remember we had maybe like an hour long or two conversation. Why in my mind am I thinking about the old Army Reserve building when I say this, but we were talking. I remember that picture was in my mind when we talked about that one stand up thing that you did. I know you know what I'm talking about. That was like, oh my God. It was, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't there to witness it, but the fact that you considered it, you got the offer, you did it, huge pivot. And unfortunately, I think the other pivot is when your mom passed away, because it's like you were on this trajectory where you were doing all these new things. And it was like, yes, go Leslie, open up the space for new shit for you, but for all of us. And then they kind of went back and retracted after mom passed, which is why I'm so excited with the new relationship that you have, and also the new things that you're doing now, even with this podcast, because I feel like it's outlets like this that will get you back on that path of new shit.
Yeah. Yeah. My true path, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm funny.
I think so too.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think not only do I think you're funny, but I realized in that time before mom passing, because it wasn't just a comedy. You were at Second City at that time and doing different mediums within, in my kind of simple mind, acting is this umbrella in you with the comedy, with the writing and all of this. Like, I felt like you were tapping into other parallel or adjacent mediums in and around acting. And I was so excited for you and excited for that. And it was inspiring me. So that time was huge, I think. And hopefully Jimmy hears this. We need to get her back there. And I know Jimmy probably knows more intimately than me, because y'all were taking classes and stuff together. So he saw you during the building phase. Like, I only saw the execution. The building of the execution, he was privy to that.
Well, we were just in the building of we weren't in actual classes together. We were in the building.
Okay.
So that building part.
Oh, building, like the physical building.
Physical building.
I thought y'all had a class together or something.
We were on the billing.
Y'all were on the same bill.
We were working on a show together, but and we're on the flyer together too, which is fun. But yeah, like, I am I'm getting the confidence back to start creating things and to just get back to where I was, because even though, like, it's just one of those things, I didn't completely fall out, because obviously I had some things that were going on that I was more focused on, like moving and trying to get into
setting your daughter up for that great school.
Yeah. So, like, I was in hyperdrive with that focus, because at that time that took priority. And I couldn't do both, because I was in a situation where I could do both. So I didn't completely like fall in a hole.
No.
But now I feel like I can get back into it because there was a lot of, I hate overusing the word trauma. There has to be something else that I can use that's like about maybe
I mean, those are
six,
traumatic
like,
experiences. Someone losing their parent. I feel like
well,
that's
yeah,
the
well, that
worst hurt
part.
that somebody can go through next to losing their child. God
Yeah.
forbid, where's some wood at?
That's not what. No,
Knock on, there's wood under this black spray paint.
yeah,
I think
but
so.
yeah, yeah, and I guess because of over time, like I think that I was trying to get back in, but I didn't, and I couldn't because guilt and other situations that I was experiencing. So yeah, it does feel good. I'm at a point where I feel like I got a fresh wind and I just have to break some bad habits that I fell into while, I was coping. And that's another thing that I have learned how to deal with as far as like managing certain things now, as I did back in my 20s, was to just be now that we have names to call things.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't think about anything about ADHD or any of that stuff because I'm like, I don't need no Ritalins. So
I don't need no Ritalins.
I don't need no Ritalins.
Oh my God.
So I like knowing that. I got, my God, like if I didn't think to shame myself that I was being lazy about things when it's just, I'm thinking about how like I wouldn't put lids back onto things like on my dresser because I would be going on to something else. And then I would be going on to something else from there. I would leave a path of destruction.
Jesus.
And I would be called sloppy and a pig or whatever. And it's like, well, I don't remember doing that. And like if I had the type of skills or the names to call things or be aware like I am right now, I can call out that behavior while I'm aware of it and then come back to my executive function. So like now, back then, I would probably do a lot of masking. I would probably have done I did a lot of hyper focusing on other things to distract me from the things that I should be focusing on. I did a lot of shopping as like coping. Like, yeah, I had a lot of clothes, and I went shopping all the time. And, obviously that was just not, that is, if I could tell my 20-year-old self, hey, like to just make things, to set things better for me, because I know that bitch did all those races without training. We did not eat right. We took all of those like hydroxy cuts and all those, the whole like cayenne pepper and maple syrup and lemon juice
diet.
Yeah.
Beyonce said.
Yeah, the Beyonce lemonade, even though that's probably a lie, but I don't know. That's what we called it.
Yeah.
Because like this, for the same reason why we didn't wear Tommy Hilfiger is because we thought he was a racist, but apparently that wasn't true. Yeah,
Oh,
right?
that wasn't true?
No. Are you today years old when you found that out?
Today, 40 years old.
He never said
I'm going to have to look that up. But.
And he was on Oprah too. Like, so, or what? Anyway, that was not true. But so like the way that I was treating my body based on like either pseudoscience and just not okay, just eat right and exercise and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Keeping it simple because I wanted that quick result and not thinking that a slow build will set myself up for greatness sooner than I think and at a more consistent level. Like consistency was the thing. And I would let things go for a while when things were good instead of trying to maintain. And then when things got out of control, that's when I would panic and do like all this like quick stuff, fast, things like that. just feed into the whole convenience culture that was lies, which was really like deteriorating my body.
Yeah.
So I would tell that bitch, like, please stop doing that. All you gotta do is just be okay with not being able to fit into a size 8 when you're a size 12 in 3 weeks.
Ooh, right. I think I would give myself that same advice. Just tweaking a few things.
Like, just stop doing too much for quick, fast, in a hurry.
Quick, fast, in a hurry life.
Calm down.
I would probably, not probably, I know for a fact there are some relationship opportunities that I missed that I would have taken advantage of. One of the things that I see a lot with a few of my musical colleagues out there who are in their 20s and 30s, there's this kind of like, especially the really talented ones, there's kind of like this air of arrogance that is attached to them that I understand, because in my 20s, I thought I was the shit with, I think I used to sometimes say like, oh, I'm your favorite singer. It's like shit like that. And I would just kind of let that 20-year-old something know that, almost kind of like what you mentioned on the health tip, like that level of arrogance is not going to serve you later on. I'm not talking about confidence. I'm talking about like
straight up thinking you're better than everybody else.
Shit, like not necessarily better than everybody else, but being in a space where maybe you're amongst other
think
singers
you're better than everybody else.
Having to, in those spaces, because it's not something that I would have, like if I'm with friends or family, it'd be only places where like there felt like a threat was amongst, and it was one of those things as a protective measure. I didn't have language for that back then. Look, the biggest thing I probably give my 20-year-olds of is a dictionary,
yep,
full
or
of
glossary
terms, and that would be catered to the life that is to come, and let you know this is the language for this thing, this is the language for that thing. With the things that I know now about how I was raised in certain spaces and how that also wouldn't serve me, I would let that 20-year-old know that as well. I would let them know that there's no fear on the side of coming out, and probably take the opportunity to have come out myself on my own terms versus how it happened, which was, through Forrest, which I mentioned in the earlier episode, a family member who I still love and adore, but they kind of pushed me out there. I would have tried to do it on my own terms. Some of the hopes I have, I think, for the future is being able to still go after the dreams that I have, but take more autonomy in it. Sorry, my allergies are acting up. They sound like I'm emotional and I'm not.
Get like one good cough.
One of the changes I've noticed getting older, and is going to actually, I believe, serve me in this next decade, is caring more about how I feel about the things that I do versus what everybody else feels. I feel like I was brought up, another thing to tell my 20-year-old self, but I know he wouldn't listen or understand, is how some of the things in the way that you move and the way that you think is serving you, but you're really looking to serve others. I feel like I'd be a little bit further along in my own creativity journey now than had I learned that back then. So I'm looking forward to this next decade being more about me and the things that I enjoy and make me happy, and feeding that into the art that I produce.
I hope that for you too. I feel that I don't know when things are gonna blow up like huge, but I just feel like it's just gonna happen.
Well, see, but that's the thing. Like, that's a part of that thinking that I was talking about. Like, because I used to say things with friends like, "Oh, if we haven't made it, quote unquote, by like 35 or 30,
Yeah.
then we're calling it quits. Like that type of mentality is looking to serve someone else.
Yeah, right. Who? That's another thing that I learned too, is to stop putting those types of timelines on something that, like, for what? Because I was supposed to be published by 35, but like you said, like, things happened to the point where I ended up putting a lot of things on pause.
Right.
So once I stopped thinking that, oh, if I don't do something by a certain age, then hang it up, it's worthless. That's really not serving my existence.
That's right. That's absolutely right. So, and it's not to say that things that I've done prior were all for everyone else. I feel like the music I've created at that time was it was very true and honest to where I was at that time. Really, I'm talking about that thing that you just mentioned, like just the afterthought. Like when I was in my creative process making my first album, The Freedom Project, and
So good.
doing those kinds of, and then even before that, my collaborative project with the rapper Tone Styles, the little kind of album we did together, that was authentic. That was
Also very
much where I was. It's the afterthought of, oh, this album's going to blow up. I'm going to have me a record deal and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. That part doesn't serve me. And had my mind not been there, I actually probably would have invested more then like I do now. And
probably already would have been there.
Where exactly, like invested in where do I want this to be, to that serves me and makes me happy or serves the purpose of like I wasn't necessarily thinking about those things like, oh, this is going to make me blow up, or this, like a very empty thoughts that didn't serve me in the way that I thought it did then. So that would be the part I would tell that 20-year-old self, like, don't, this isn't going to go to Rockefeller. Don't,
Not this.
I'm saying, like, there's other places that this art would serve, and that's what you need to be concentrating on. You need to have people around you that have the same mindset around there as well, too, not just there for the ride or whatever. So lots of lessons I was told that 20-year-old, but I am more than ecstatic to be in a place in my life now where I've learned those lessons and now I can execute it in this next decade.
Well, I look forward to getting older, just not deteriorating.
That's right. You got anything coming up before we close out?
Well, not tomorrow.
Nothing going on tomorrow?
Nah.
Except for work?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure when this will be released, but December 14th, I have a show calling it Lester Does Luther.
Lester Does Luther.
It's a Luther Vandross dedication show, Epiphany Center for the Arts. Look for my social medias. By the time this is out, it will either be out there for promotion or will be very close to execution.
Nice.
But did you have anything else, Leslie?
Nope.
Well, this is your soon-to-be, hopefully, favorite uncle and auntie.
But we ain't out my back. We ain't claiming y'all.
Well, y'all have a good one. We out of here.